Yo guys, welcome to the last episode, or better still the last part of this series we started weeks ago. I know you all have been having wonderful time with me on this series, and if you have been following so closely all this while, then you should be closer to unraveling the whole component of UI UX designs. If you are new to this channel, I would strongly recommend that you go watch the previous part of this prototype series before we commence this tutorial, because whatever we will do today will be solidly based on the foundation we have been building on UI UX. So guys, by our tradition, all lesson files used in this tutorial will be in a link in the description box, and even the mockups I use. Feel free to download, use and follow along. With all this said, let's begin the exploration of our creativity. So today we'll start by creating the last page of this design as seen in the preview. Then we will link all pages together with all components to create micro interactions in our pages. So we'll look at transitions, auto animation, setting timers, and a whole lot more. So grab a cup of coffee as we begin, except that of course I won't be grabbing mine, obviously, because I'm the tutor. So as before, I'm just going to click on the sign up page. Okay, I made a mistake the last time, so I'm just going to change this to sign up, not sign or. Alright, then I'm going to tap enter on my keyboard. Okay, so as previously, we are just going to duplicate this whole page, so it will save us the whole time of editing the page, changing the fill color and the rest. So I'm just going to hold down Ctrl D on my keyboard, and there we have it. I'm going to change this. I'm going to rename this as requirement page. Sorry about that. Requirement page. Alright, then tap enter on my keyboard. You can name it whatever you like, it's your choice, but I just want my namings to follow a successive pattern. Alright, so let's filter through what we'll be needing. I'm going to just zoom into this by holding down my Alt key and sliding or moving my scroll wheel over. Then I'm going to hold down my space bar till my cursor turns to this hand, then each indicates that I can move this over wherever I want to. Alright, so I'm just going to as before, filter through the page to see what I'm going to be keeping and of course what I'll be deleting. So as you can see, I'll be deleting the email address and the phone number because obviously I won't be needing them. Then I'm going to keep the button, the proceed button. Then I'm just going to shift it downwards because that's where we'll be needing it, like at this point here. Then make sure it's aligned center. Alright, so that's it. I'm going to change the get started to welcome. I'm going to double click on it and just edit welcome. Okay, sorry about that. Let me edit this. Okay, then I keep my tool, align this to the center. All right, so I'm just going to change this to what you will get with ALAT. Okay, then drop this, align this to the center again. Then I'll just make sure I give this, let's say, let me just give it some space like this. All right, so there we have it. This is okay. So guys, at this point I'm just going to refer back to the first page of this tutorial, or the first part of this tutorial. That's part 1. So I'm just going to grab these quick access links we created the last time by highlighting over it. Then I'm going to group them together. Then I will name it as, or I will change the name to let's say quick access link, quick access links. All right, so if you notice it's not properly aligned, that was one of the mistakes we made in the last part, which I'm going to correct by aligning center horizontally like this. All right, So we also have some tools here that can help us. We can hide a component if we want. If we don't want, also we can also unhide them. We didn't talk about them last time. What I want to do is actually to right click on this and copy it. All right, so I'm going to shift this over here and paste. Okay, so I'm going to right click on my artboard here and paste, Ctrl V. Okay, so I'm just going to move this thing or move these links up here. I'm using my arrow key to actually move it, so I can use my cursor here to move it. Okay, and just drag it upwards here, just like this we do, and make sure it's aligned properly horizontally to the center. Then I'm just going to move this text downwards a bit with my arrow tool. Okay, what you will get to, okay, 60 we do over here. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is to duplicate this text. Ctrl D. I'm going to hold down Ctrl D, then drag this over downwards using my shift to get a proper, to maintain the proper alignment. Okay, all right, there's this padding guide indicating that, okay, I can drop my text here. So like I said before, don't neglect Adobe SD guidelines. It's going to help you to maintain proper alignment and proper positioning of elements in your pages or across your pages. So I'm just going to double click on this and say or type what we, let the we be uppercase, what we will require, what we will require. All right, okay, let the require be the capital letter R, be lowercase. Okay, like this we do, and I'm going to align this horizontally to the center. I'm still going to copy this link here and paste. So I'm going to right click, copy. Okay guys, you know what, I'm just going to duplicate this by holding down Ctrl D instead of copying. Then I'm just going to bring it downwards like this. Okay, so you can see the guidelines coming again, the padding guidelines indicating, okay, I've observed 60 space, or let's say 60 pixels, but actually the unit of measurement is not measured there. So I'm just going to guess that probably there's 60 pixels of space between the welcome text and the what you will get text, also between the first set of quick links and the second set of quick links. So you can see it's actually a very cool tool for us to maintain proper positioning of elements across the pages of our artboard or of our designs or prototype designs, as you will see. All right, so I'm just going to free it. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to edit this. So I'm going to start with this. I'm going to click on this multiple times till I get the particular one, because I'm actually going for the text to edit. So till I edit the text inside, I will not stop clicking. But most times you have to double tap once, double tap twice. That's to get to the second layer, then double tap 3 times. Because if you notice, the text is inside a group and this group is inside a get in touch. Understand? And this get in touch is inside a quick link group. So you can see I have to double tap, to get in touch with the text. So I'm just going to say account details. All right, so I'm still going to change the icon and edit the text. Actually guys, this is a savings account. All right, I'm going to click here. Then I'm just going to shift this over to this place. All right, then I'm going to set the text to, let's say 16, the font size to 16, and I'm going to change this from bold to medium. Yeah, I guess medium is okay. Then I'm going to just move it like this to the center. You can see that guideline again. All right, so I'm going to change the icon. So I'm going to click on the icon like this way. I'm going to first of all hover my mouse around it or on it. You can see it's indicating that I can actually click on it. So I'm just going to delete this Then I'm going to head over to my icons page here. Then I'm going to pick this one, copy, and head over to the page, then paste. Alright, so I'm just going to resize this a bit. I'm going to resize it, sorry, hold down Alt, or let's hold down Shift. Okay, so this size will do. Then I'm just going to move this to where it belongs. Alright, I guess here is perfect. I still feel this the icon is big, so I'm just going to zoom in and reduce this. Okay, let me hold down my Shift and Alt to, okay, this is better, to resize uniformly. Okay, so I'm just going to still increase it a bit, though don't mind me, if I've not gotten the perfect size, I won't rest, because I'm kind of a perfectionist. Alright, this is better. Okay, so there we have it. So I'm just going to change the color of this button. So I'm just going to click on this, grab the color for this. Alright, so this is the primary color we have here. Then I'm going to paste it here. Okay, Ctrl V and tap enter on my keyboard, and there we have it. So I'm going to repeat the same process I did for this first link with the other 5 links. So I'm going to just fast forward the video so you won't get bored. Okay guys, welcome back. So let's continue with the design. So I'm just going to click on the proceed button and shift it upwards. Alright, I guess to this point we do. Okay, probably let me just, alright, to this point we do. Okay, then I'm just going to align this to the center as usual. Then I'm going to grab my text tool. You know what, I'm going to duplicate this, then bring this other copy downwards, let's say like to this point. Then I'm going to type new ALAT customers only. Alright, then I'm just going to place an asterisk on the new, that's Shift 8 for those that don't know that. Alright, I'm going to set this to center. Then I'm going to change the color to this. I don't think I've introduced you to the color pickers. So guys, I'm going to introduce you to the color picker over here. And what it basically does is to select colors from whatever it is. Just click on it, it gets the color from whatever shape, whatever elements, be it your artboard, be it your button. But right now I'm interested in grabbing this color, the proceed button color. So that's enough for me. Then I'm going to set this to let's say I'm going to set it to the text from semi-bold to medium size to do. Then I'm still going to make sure it's center. Alright, then Ctrl S. Okay, then Ctrl+0 to take it to full view. I guess this is okay, this is nice. Let me just still lower the button a bit, like up to this point. Alright, okay, so there we have it guys. There we have it. So we are getting so close to finishing this prototype design. Alright, so I guess this is all. Then the next thing I want to do is to head over to the prototype section, which is this. and I'm going to introduce you to a lot of whole new concepts, things you haven't seen. I talked about that in the last class. In the last I'm used to teaching in the class, so sorry about that. In the last part of the video, or in the last part of the series, so I introduced you to I just gave most of you an overview of what the prototype look like. Let me go to the order, like the initial design of this, and this is the initial design of this prototype, the first design I ever made. This is it, and this is the prototype. Now if I click on this page, you can see these wires, I don't know what they call it, links, going to and fro, linking this page to this, linking this to that, like that. If I click on this, we have that same linking going on. Same thing with this. You can see, I know most of you will be confused, thinking it's one kind is sort of a complex stuff, but in a minute you understand what all this thing means. So I'm just going to be linking and adding some effects that you will see in a couple of minutes. All right, so I'm just going to go to the main page, this our page. Then I'm going to play this tutorial, or play this prototype. Sorry about that. I'm going to play the prototype, and let's see. Okay, we have our hover state on both buttons. Then if I press my arrow key, I can go to the next page, and okay, it's looking nice. Things are looking okay here on this page. All right, the get started. Okay, this is also looking great, although this get started is so close to the back arrow, that's the navigation arrow. We are going to fix that in a bit. Then let's look at this. All right, this is okay, this is perfect. So we are going to fix that, the sign up page, and I'm just going to still go back to the design. So make sure anytime you want to make the design, the editing, the rest, the makeup or the markup of your page, you should make sure you should do that in the design section. So I'm just going to zoom into this and highlight this test, the bolt test, and I'm just going to use my arrow to bring it down to this point here. All right, and this I guess will be okay. All right, so now I'm going to head over to the prototype section, and I'm just going to zoom into this a bit so we can see what is going on here. So first of all, I'll run the prototype and I'm going to explain what I'm doing alongside, so I won't leave you all behind. All right, so I'm going to click on this button. You can see it's grouped. This is the login button, and this is the get started button. We didn't edit that to change it to the get started button, but there will not be time for that. You can do that on your own. Then I'm just going to indicate what page will I be linking this login page, that's this onboarding screen to. That's to say, if I set on tap to this button, it should take me to, let's say, the sign up page, or let's say the requirement page. But for the purpose of this tutorial, when I click on this login button, I want it to take me to the login page, which is this next page over here. And when I click on this get started button, I want it to take me to the sign up page, which in turn take me to the requirement page. Then when I click on these arrows, I want it to take me back to the previous page, like that in that order till I get to the main page, that's the onboarding screen. Then also when I click on one of these links here, I want it to take me to this requirement page here. So let's get on with that. So if you notice, it's not going to be it's not really a big deal. It's just all about clicking and dragging. So I'm just going to click on this, and if you look at this arrow pointing over to the right here, which means you should just click and drag. You can see like this. I'm just clicking and dragging over it. You can see you can drag to any point you want, but for now all I'm interested in is dragging to this page here, which is this. You can see you can drag, you can even take it away, drag to the next page, as whatever you want to do with it, but for now, or for this tutorial sake, I'm taking it to the login page, which is this. All right, so on this login page, when I click on this, and you can also delete, because I don't know, this is a component, this is a component state for this button. It's added by default. You can also see that on your own page if you are following, on your own artboard if you are following too. But I didn't make any of this prototype, which you can see we're actually doing that for the first time. All right, so when I click on this, okay, if you notice there's an action here, and under the action we have a type. If you are into coding, you will know that okay, when you click on a button, you can actually set an action to it. Okay, so I'm just going to click on the auto animate. I discussed, or I told you about auto animate. What the auto animate does is actually, it's a very cool component of Adobe SD. I'm not going to go into auto animate at this moment because it's going to make this tutorial only a little bit longer, which we won't want. But in future episode or in future series, we'll talk a lot more on the auto animate and what it does. But for now, what we'll be interested in is the transition. If you notice, there's also an overlay, there's also a scroll tool. You know, there are a lot of different action type, and there are a whole lot to discuss on. But I'm just going to, you know, click the transition, which is the first here. In other series, I promise to make tutorials covering all types of action, and we'll do cool things together. I promise you on that. All right, so you can see the action type is set to transition. Then I'm going to, you know, we've already discussed the login page. You can also fix that from here. I can change the login page to sign up page, and it's just going to move like that automatically. But what I want is the login page. That's why it's very important to name the pages from the title here upwards here. Then I'm going to just set an animation. You can see, you can set an animation. You can see all these are actions, the actions. I'm just going to set an animation to, let's say I want it to slide right. You can try, you know, most of these animations yourself. They are very cool animations over here. You can see they have the dissolve, we have the slide up and slide down, the push left, the push right, push up. So that's left to you on your own, in free time, to actually experiment all those things out. So I'm just going to click that, the slide right, and let's see what that does. So I'm going to, sorry about that. So I'm going to play this prototype. All right, and if you notice, let's drag this over here. Okay, so if you notice, when I click on this, it slides right. You can see when I click on this, let me do that again. Click on this and it slides right. You can see, but actually this is sliding left. So I'm going to fix that by saying, okay, we should slide left, and let's see what that does. All right, so now let's change the slide right to slide left. Okay, and let me play again. So when I click on this, it's better now. Slide right was actually going the opposite, and slide left is, you know, doing what we want. All right, so I'm just going to close this and effect the other prototypes or the other linking. When I'm going to click on this button, I want it to get to this. I want it to go to the get started page, which is this. All right. Now, lest I forget, we didn't set the timer. That's the duration of this action. So I'm just going to set it to 0.8 seconds. That's quite a lot. Then I'm going to set the easing to ease in and out. I always love easing and out. There are other, you know, easing. You can also, there are other effects that you can actually add. There's the snap, there's the wind up, there's the bounce. But when you're actually creating a mobile app like this, or a mobile app prototype, you want to, you know, use a more, you know, official, should I say, yeah, a more official effect or style, which is the easing and out. It's actually nice for stuffs like this. So I'm going to play this prototype. Then when I click on the login, you can see, so slow and, you know, nice, slow and sweet. All right, wow, that was wonderful. Okay, so let's, you know, effect this on the nest and the rest. All right, so I'm just going to click on this, and you can see it's going to the get started page. You can also click on this and, you know, indicates what page it's going to take you on. So that's this link over here. You can also click on it and, you know, you can see destination. I'm going to take it to the sign up page. Then set easing off, let's say easing and out too. Easing and out will be nice. Let's set the duration to 0.4 seconds. We want it a little bit faster this time. Then I'm going to click on this. That's this the third link over here, the third quick access link here. All right, and I'm going to just click on this. Then you can see the destination. You can see choose an artboard. So I want it to go to the requirement page. You can see the requirement page, and if I click on this, you can see when we click on this, is going to the requirement page like this. So I don't need to drag it over there. All right, then let's give it let's say it should slide. Let's try something different this time so we can actually experiment the animations we have here. Let's say slide, no, let's not use the slide, let's use the push left. All right, I'm just trying that safe for the first time, so we can, sorry about that, so we can try that together. Okay, so let me just play this prototype. Okay, so when I click on the login, it gets to the login page. All right, so let me head back, click on the get started. All right, so the push left is working perfectly fine. Okay, let's add the linking to the other page. Okay, so when I click on this, let's fix the arrow, the back arrow. So I won't be using my arrow keys on my keyboard to go back and forth. Okay, so I'm just going to click on this and drag it to this main page. Okay, I'm going to set the duration to something faster because we won't want to be wasting time on that. I'm going to set the animation to, let's say, push right. All right, then that's it. Then let's okay, let's get to the login button over here. So when I click on the login button, I want it to actually go to the to this. All right, the login button, we'll leave the action for the login button for now, but I'm just going to click on this link. That's the sign up here, the sign up link, and it should take us to the sign up page. So I'm just going to click and drag over here. All right, so when I click and drag over here, I'm going to set this to ease in and out as before. I'm just going to set this to, let's say, let's try the slide left. Okay, let's try the slide left. All right, then we're going to set the duration to, let's say, 0.4 seconds. Okay, so when I click on the proceed button should take me to the main app. So I'm not going to set any action here because we haven't created such pages. We would have actually done that, but for the sake of this tutorial not getting so long, I'm just going to stop at these 4 pages we have created. Okay guys, let's play the prototype. Okay, so when I click on the login button, it takes us to the login page, slow and easy. When I click on this navigation button back, it takes us backward. When I click on the get started, it takes us to the get started page. All right, we haven't effected an action on this button here. We're just going to do that. When I click on this, it's taking us back and I didn't set such action. So I'm actually going to delete this because it's not needed. This is actually here as a result of the component instance we set on the button previously in the other tutorials. That was the first part of this tutorial when we added an overstate. So this is actually here and we won't be needing that. So I'm not just going to say, I'm going to leave it like that. I'm not going to set any action to this. So when we click on it, it's not going to take us anywhere because there's no page for that. So you can see when we click on it, it's not going to take us anywhere. So I'm going to set this action to the previous page. It should take us to the previous page with a duration of 0.2 seconds, and it should slide right. That's the inverse. It should slide left for us, but since it's working in opposite directions for us, we're going to take the opposite route. All right, I'm going to also set sorry about that, that's my keyboard. All right, I'm going to set this proceed button. When you click on this proceed button, it should take us to, I'm going to set an action for it. When I click on this, it should take us to the get started page. All right, it should take us to the get started page. That's to say, after the user has gone through this page, then it should be directed to the sign up page to sign up, then proceed to the application. So this trigger, you can actually set a trigger that's either tap, either drag, or either keys, or either voice. But for now, for this tutorial sake, we're going to set a drag. All right, I'm going to set the type. Now maybe we should try a little bit of auto animates, so you can actually see what auto animation does. So I'm just going to set this to auto animate. Then I'm going to we have already set the destination page. All right, I'm going to set this to, let's say, snap. All right, then I'm going to set this to 0.4 seconds. I would have actually made the duration consistent across all pages, but I just want us to have more insight into this. That's why I'm trying to play around with it, so by doing this we can grasp and get used to most of the components we'll be using over here. All right, so let's play what we have here, but before we do that, let's set this to the previous page. All right, we should set this to the previous page. I'm clicking on this and it's misbehaving, don't mind it. All right, I'm just going to set it to this page here. Okay, still same auto animate, then this time we should make it a lot more faster, which is 0.2 seconds. So I'm just going to play this prototype and let's see what we have. All right, I actually want to play the first page first, so I'm going to click on the first page, then play. Okay, so when I click on the login, it takes us to the login page as expected. I click on this, it takes us backward. When I click on the get started, it takes us to the get started page as expected. And right now on the proceed, it's taking us back to the first page. Well, that's not a problem, because since we don't have the main page, so we are actually going to leave that like that. So when I click on the get a wallet, it takes us to this page here. That's the requirement page, where the user sees the requirements before signing up into the app. All right, so when I click on this, it takes us backward. That's to the let's get to know you, but the user shouldn't get to this page except he has been verified. So when we click on this button, it should take us back to the onboarding screen. So let's do that. So I'm just going to minimize this and head over here. Let's click on this. So instead of this taking us to this page, let us take this back to the onboarding screen. All right, so there we have it. So let's play this prototype again. Okay, so when it clicks back, it gets to the main page. That's the onboarding screen. But let's make it a little bit slower. That's 0.6 seconds, and let's use ease in and out. Let's use ease in and out. That will be okay. So I'm going to click on this button again and play the prototype. All right, this is okay. So when I click the get started, it takes us to the get started page. When I click on this, it takes us back to the login. You know what, guys, let's actually take all navigation back to the onboarding screen. I think that will be better. All right, let's take this. This is already set to the onboarding screen. That's the main page. Let's take this animation too. I'm coming, let me zoom into this. All right, okay, so when I click on this component, it shouldn't take us back to the login page, but instead it should take us back to the onboarding screen, because it actually makes more sense. Okay, and same with this is actually nice. Get started. Okay, from here, let's say just in case the user is not interested, so it should take us back to the onboarding screen, and I guess that will be all. So that's okay. So I'm going to play this one more time, and in fact, let's click on the main page so we can start the prototype from the main page. Okay, so when I click on this and click on the login, it takes us to the login page. When I click on this, it takes us back. When I click on the get started, it takes us to the get started page. When I click on this, it takes us back very fast. Okay, when I click on this, it takes us to this page. When I click on this, it should take us back. All right, you can see the auto animation is quite different from the transition. Okay, so when I click on the get wallet, it takes us to the requirement page, and when I click on this, it takes us back. So guys, with this we are done with this prototype design. We are actually done with linking the whole page. Do make sure you leave all questions in the comment box for me, and I'll gladly respond to all of them. And if you notice, we have been playing around with it. If I'm actually going to do this on a professional level, it won't be this way, but it's for the purpose of teaching, and it's for the purpose of you getting the whole concept about UI UX design, and also Adobe SD. So guys, Please don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, let them see this and learn from it. And also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys. I love you guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.